My name is Valerie, 33 years old. Tonight, I stepped into the serene Napa estate I'd saved for 11 years designing high-end interiors to own. In my hand, a bottle of vintage red for the family New Year's party I'd planned. Mason charged straight at me. "Don't come here causing trouble," he snarled and slammed the full glass of red wine into my face. The liquid splashed across my dress, stinging my eyes. Behind him, Jerry and Donna stood frozen, nodding coldly. "This party is for real family only," Donna said, voice flat. I tasted the wine on my lips, bitter like every favor I'd ever done for them. The room spun with laughter from guests who pretended not to see. My brother's glare dared me to react. My parents didn't flinch. I had decorated every corner, paid for every bottle, every light twinkling in the vineyard outside. And in 1 second they made it clear I wasn't welcome in my own home. But I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just reached for my phone. If you've ever been humiliated by the people who were supposed to love you, hit that like button and subscribe, now. Because what I did next, they never saw it coming. I wiped my face, heart pounding in the cold vineyard. The chill bit through my soaked dress, but the sting in my eyes wasn't just from the wine. I fumbled for my phone with trembling fingers and dialed the one person who had never turned away. "Aunt Evelyn," I said the moment she picked up my voice, cracking despite my effort to stay calm. They just threw wine in my face, in my own house. There was a sharp intake of breath on the line. Evelyn had always been the steady one, the sister my father never quite knew how to handle. "Val, listen to me," she replied, firm but warm. "You don't stay silent anymore. Not after everything. Tell me exactly what happened." I leaned against a frost-covered vine post, the estate lights flickering in the distance like distant stars. Evelyn's words pulled me back to the first time she had said something that stuck. I was 12, hiding in her guest room after another fight at home. She had tucked me in and whispered, "You deserve to be loved, kiddo. Don't let anyone make you forget that." It was the only time anyone in the family had said it outright. As I recounted the scene inside, the guests, the decorations, the way my parents had nodded without a word, Evelyn listened without interrupting. When I finished, she exhaled slowly. "This isn't new, is it? They've been doing this since you were in college." She was right. The memory hit me like a wave, pulling me under. I was 22, standing in the kitchen of our old family home in Sacramento. I had just been accepted into a prestigious design program, one that required full-time commitment and tuition I couldn't cover alone. My parents sat at the table, coffee cups in hand. My father cleared his throat. "We're cutting your allowance, Valerie. You're smart enough to figure it out on your own." I remember staring at them, waiting for the punchline. There wasn't one. My mother added almost casually, "Your brother needs the money for his new hobbies. He's still growing." Mason was 14 then, already taller than me, with a room full of gadgets and sports gear. I had worked weekends at a cafe since 16, saving every penny for books and supplies. That day, they handed me a box of my things and pointed to the door. "Time to be independent," my father said, as if it were a gift. I moved into a tiny apartment near campus, sharing with 2 strangers. Nights were spent sketching floor plans under a dim lamp, days interning unpaid at firms that promised exposure. Exposure didn't pay rent. I took on freelance gigs, redesigning lobbies for cheap motels, creating mood boards for startups that never launched. Every rejection fueled me. Every late payment reminder became motivation. I learned to negotiate contracts, to spot trends before they hit magazines, to turn a client's vague, make it luxurious into something tangible and profitable. By 25, I had my first big break. A boutique hotel in San Francisco needed a complete overhaul. The owner loved my portfolio: clean lines, warm textures, spaces that felt like home without trying too hard. Word spread. Soon I was flying to Los Angeles for celebrity homes, then to New York for penthouse consultations. I built a name, Valerie Designs, known for turning forgotten spaces into sanctuaries. Clients paid premium because I delivered emotion in every detail: a reading nook that invited solitude, a kitchen that sparked family gatherings. But success came with isolation. My parents attended none of my openings. Mason sent occasional texts about his latest gadget or trip, always funded by them. I sent birthday cards, holiday gifts, invitations to events. Responses were polite, distant. Busy with work, my mother would say. Or nothing at all. 11 years of grinding, of skipping vacations, of eating instant noodles so I could invest in software upgrades and fabric samples. 11 years to afford this estate the serene hilltop property in Napa, with its sprawling vineyard stone fireplace and views that stretched to the horizon. I closed on it 6 months ago, imagining it as the bridge. A place where we could all gather, where old wounds might heal over shared meals and laughter. I pictured my parents retiring here, Mason visiting with stories, maybe even starting traditions. The New Year's party was my olive branch. I hired a private chef who specialized in farm-to-table menus, pairing each course with wines from local cellars. The dining table groaned under platters of seared scallops, herb-crusted lamb, and truffle risotto. Desserts waited in the kitchen, individual chocolate soufflés, and a tower of macarons in pastel shades. I had strung LED strings through the vines outside, creating a glowing path from the driveway to the main house. Soft jazz played from hidden speakers, volume low enough for conversation, but high enough to fill silences. I chose the menu myself, remembering my mother's love for seafood and my father's preference for red meat. For Mason, I added a charcuterie board with his favorite aged cheddar. Peyton, his fiancée, had mentioned a sweet tooth, so I included a dessert station with artisanal chocolates. Every detail was thoughtful, expensive, personal. I even set place cards, elegant calligraphy on thick cardstock, each name a silent plea for connection. Standing there now, phone pressed to my ear, I described it all to Evelyn. The chef arriving at dawn to prep, the florist arranging centerpieces of winter greens and white roses, the bartender mixing signature cocktails with infused spirits. I thought if I made it perfect, I admitted they'd see me. Really see me. Evelyn's voice softened. You've always been the one holding everything together, Val. But perfection doesn't fix people who don't want to change. She paused. What are you going to do? I glanced at the house lights, warm through the windows, shadows moving inside. Guests mingled, oblivious or complicit. My dress clung cold to my skin, but something shifted in my chest, a resolve I hadn't felt since that kitchen confrontation years ago. I'm not leaving, I said. This is my home. Evelyn exhaled. Good. Then fight for it. But not alone. The call ended with her promise to check in soon. I pocketed the phone, straightened my shoulders, and walked back toward the entrance. The vineyard path crunched under my heels, each step deliberate. The party lights blurred slightly, not from tears, but from focus. I had built this life brick by brick. No one would take it tonight. I dialed the Napa County Sheriff, voice steady. The operator asked for details, and I gave them. Plainly unauthorized people in my property, one assault with a thrown drink. She confirmed dispatch within minutes. I stood at the edge of the driveway, the vineyard's glow fading behind me as red and blue lights approached up the hill. 2 deputies stepped out of the cruiser, flashlights cutting through the night. The taller one, badge reading Ramirez, approached first. Ma'am, you called about a disturbance. I nodded, leading them to the entrance. This is my estate. I own it outright. The people inside are refusing to leave after an incident. Deputy Ramirez requested identification and proof of ownership. I pulled up the digital deed on my phone, recorded with Napa County just months earlier. The second deputy, Lopez, scanned it quickly. Looks legitimate. Let's speak with the occupants. We entered the foyer, the warmth hitting like a wall after the cold outside. Guests parted, murmurs rippling. My mother Donna rushed forward, hands clasped, eyes wide with feigned concern. Officers. Thank goodness. This is just a family misunderstanding. My daughter gets emotional sometimes. I met her gaze directly. Misunderstanding. You watched your son throw wine in my face and said this party wasn't for me in the home I paid for. Donna's lips trembled, but she turned to the deputies with a pleading smile. See, she's upset over nothing. We're all family here. No need for this. Deputy Lopez held up a hand. Ma'am, step back. We need statements from everyone involved. He glanced at me. Can you describe the assault? I recounted it factually. The approach, the shout, the glass hurled, the impact. No exaggeration, no tears. Ramirez took notes, then addressed the room. Anyone witnessed this? A few guests shifted uncomfortably, but no one spoke up. Peyton hovered near the stairs, twisting her engagement ring. Mason lingered in the background, arms crossed, scowling. Ramirez radioed for backup confirmation on the property records. Minutes later, it came through: Valerie Designs LLC as sole owner. No liens, no shared titles. Clear, he said to Lopez. Turning to Donna, Ramirez's tone hardened. This property belongs to Ms. Valerie. Your presence without permission constitutes trespassing. The thrown drink qualifies as assault under California Penal Code. Donna's face paled. But we're her parents. This is absurd. I stepped closer, voice even. Parents who told me I wasn't real family. In my house. Lopez addressed the guests. Folks, if you're invited by the owner, stay. Otherwise, you need to exit. Most were my hire's chef staff, so they remained. The family cluster tightened. Jerry emerged from the living room, hands raised placatingly. Officers, let's talk this out. Valerie's always been dramatic. Dramatic? I repeated the word. Landing flat. 11 years of building everything alone, and you call this dramatic? Ramirez ignored the plea. Trespassing and assault. Everyone not on the deed must leave immediately, or we escalate to arrests. Donna clutched Jerry's arm. You can't do this. It's New Year's. Lopez pointed to the door. Out. Now. Peyton whimpered, grabbing Mason's sleeve. What about our things? Collect essentials only, Ramirez instructed. We'll supervise. As the family moved toward the coat room, I felt a shift inside, not rage, but clarity. For years, I had bent, accommodated, hoped silence would earn acceptance. Tonight, the law spoke for me. The deputy's presence wasn't vengeance, it was validation. This estate, every beam and stone, was mine by right. Donna paused at the threshold, turning back with watery eyes. Valerie, think about what you're doing to us. I held her stare. I am. The deputies flanked them, ensuring compliance. Guests watched in stunned silence, the jazz music now absurdly cheerful. The chef peeked from the kitchen, wide-eyed but professional. Ramirez handed me an incident report form. Sign here if you want to press charges for assault. Trespassing citation will be issued. I took the pen, hand unwavering. Both. As they herded the group outside, I stood in the doorway, the weight lifting with each step they took down the path. For the first time, strength wasn't something I faked. It was real, rooted in facts no one could deny. The door swung wide, Mason bursting out. His eyes blazed under the porch light, fists clenched at his sides. Deputy Ramirez blocked his path instantly. Sir, 15 minutes to gather personal items. Nothing else. Mason shoved past toward the coat closet, muttering curses. Peyton trailed him, face streaked with mascara, clutching a small purse like a lifeline. Mason, slow down, she whispered, voice breaking. Inside, the deputies set timers on their watches. Lopez announced clearly, essentials only, wallets, keys, phones. No furniture, no decor. Guests who weren't family edged away, forming a silent perimeter. Jerry appeared next, coat half on, reaching for Ramirez's arm. Officer, please, don't do this to her mother. His plea hung weak in the air, the same tone he'd used years ago to justify favors. Ramirez removed the hand gently but firmly. Sir, time's ticking. Move. Donna emerged from the hallway, scarf askew, clutching a designer bag. She spotted me near the stairs and pointed sharply. You're destroying everything. Her scream echoed off the high ceilings, drawing winces from the staff. Mason, now in the dining area, scanned the table laden with untouched appetizers. His gaze landed on the crystal wine station, a custom piece I'd commissioned from a local artisan. With a guttural yell, he swept his arm across it. Bottles crashed to the floor, red liquid pooling like blood on the hardwood. You'll regret this, he roared, glass shattering under his boots. Peyton gasped, covering her mouth. Mason, stop. I don't want any part of this. She backed toward the exit heels, clicking frantically. Lopez moved in, hand on his belt. That's property damage. Cease immediately or face additional charges. Mason froze, chest heaving, but didn't apologize. Jerry hurried over, trying to pull him away. Son, enough. Let's just go. Donna wasn't done. She stormed toward me, deputies intercepting. How dare you turn the police on your own blood? Spittle flew with each word. This house. It should have been ours anyway. I stayed rooted, arms crossed. The chaos swirled, but I felt detached, observing like a stranger in my own space. 11 years of compromise, flashed birthdays, skipped achievements, downplayed every success, met with indifference. This outburst wasn't surprise. It was confirmation. Ramirez checked his watch. 10 minutes left. The family scattered. Mason grabbed a duffel from upstairs, stuffing clothes haphazardly. Peyton collected her coat and a forgotten gift bag, avoiding eye contact. Jerry gathered car keys and a wallet from the side table, movement slow, defeated. Donna snatched jewelry from a guest room drawer, slamming it shut. Deputies followed each, ensuring no lingering. Lopez radioed updates. Subjects complying under protest. Minor damage noted. Peyton paused at the door, turning to me with tear-filled eyes. Valerie. I didn't know it would go this far. Her voice cracked, genuine regret mixing with fear. Mason overheard, wheeling around. Don't apologize to her. He lunged forward, but Ramirez blocked again. Out. Now. Jerry guided Donna toward the exit, her protests fading to sobs. We raised you better than this, he muttered, more to himself. The clock hit 8 minutes. Staff began subtle cleanup, wiping spills, righting chairs, professional amid the storm. Mason made one last sweep, kicking a fallen bottle that rolled across the floor. This isn't over, he threatened, voice low. Ramirez escorted him out. Threat noted. Any contact violates the order. Peyton slipped past, whispering to Jerry. Donna trailed, head high but shoulders shaking. The four clustered on the driveway, deputies herding them to their vehicles, 2 SUVs parked crookedly from earlier arrival. Engines revved, headlights pierced the darkness as they maneuvered down the winding hill road, tires crunching gravel. Taillights disappeared around the bend, swallowed by the vineyard rows. I remained on the porch, breath visible in the cold. The deputies approached for final signatures. Incident report complete, Lopez said. We'll file the citations. Call if they return. Ramirez added, You handled this well, ma'am. Property rights are clear. They drove off, lights fading. The estate fell silent except for distant jazz still playing inside. Staff resumed duties quietly, the chef checking ovens. Chaos gone, the space felt larger, mine alone. No backward glance needed. Their exit marked a line I wouldn't cross again. I stepped inside, spotting Donna's laptop on the bar. The screen glowed faintly, lid half closed amid scattered coasters. Staff bustled quietly in the background, resetting for a party that never truly started. I flipped it open. No password, arrogance in digital form. The desktop loaded to an open email tab, inbox labeled Napa Elite. A thread sat, unread, subject line, innocuous, final headcount. I clicked. Top message from Donna, timestamped 3 days ago, confirmed Valerie covers everything. We arrive, feast, ditch her after dessert. She'll get the hint. Below, Jerry's reply, perfect. Keeps the bill off our cards. Mason chimed in. I'll handle the exit drama if needed. She always backs down. Peyton added a laughing emoji. Free food and wine, I'm in. Further down, archived exchanges painted the full picture. One from last month. Donna forwarding my venue deposit confirmation. See, she pays without asking. Use it. Another Jerry to a friend, Valerie's place is ideal, big enough for our crowd, none of the cost. I scrolled methodically. Invitations sent under my name, RSVPs, managed by Donna. Menu approvals with my credit card attached. Even a note about parking. Tell guests to use Valerie's driveway, she won't mind. Each line stripped away pretense. This wasn't oversight or misunderstanding. It was calculated exclusion. They had turned my gesture into their grift, planning my humiliation as the finale. My pulse stayed even. No heat in my cheeks, no knot in my stomach, just ice. 11 years of earning of proving worth through silence crystallized into this moment. The estate wasn't a bridge, it was bait. I screenshot every message, every attachment, the folder saved to my phone in seconds. Evidence secured, undeniable. The chef approached hesitantly. "Ms. Valerie, shall we serve the staff now?" I nodded. "Please. They earned it." As plates clinked in the kitchen, I dialed Evelyn again. She answered on the first ring. "I have proof," I said, voice flat. "Send it all," she replied without hesitation, every word. I attached the files, hit send. The whoosh confirmed delivery. Evelyn's tone sharpened. "This changes the game, Val. They thought you'd fold. They were wrong." A pause. "You sound different." "I am." No tears threatened. No urge to scream or smash the laptop. Just clarity sharp as the broken glass still being swept nearby. I closed the device, slid it into a drawer. Tomorrow it would go to professionals. Tonight, it was leverage. Staff filled the dining room, laughter rising genuine for the first time. The jazz shifted to something upbeat. I joined them briefly, accepting a plate of lamb. Flavor exploded, rich, perfectly seasoned. My creation finally enjoyed by people who appreciated it. One server raised a glass. To the real host. I clinked back the sound clean. Upstairs, I changed into jeans and a sweater, the ruined dress bagged for dry cleaning or evidence. The mirror reflected someone unfamiliar, posture, straight eyes steady. The woman who had begged for scraps was gone. I texted the cleanup crew for morning, full detail, no expense spared. The estate would shine again, untainted. Evelyn messaged back. "Got it. Printing now. Sleep if you can." Sleep felt distant, but rest wasn't the goal. Strategy was. I walked the empty halls, fingers trailing banisters I'd chosen, walls I'd painted in soft neutrals to evoke calm. Every choice mine, every payment from accounts they never contributed to. Their plan had backfired spectacularly. Down in the wine cellar, I selected a bottle from my private reserve, something rare saved for a milestone. Tonight, qualified. The cork popped softly. I poured a glass, savoring the bouquet. Complex, layered, earned. Sipping slowly, I reviewed mental checklists. Security footage from outdoor cameras likely captured the exit chaos. Vendor invoices all in my name. The puzzle pieces fit without force. No rage fueled me now. Cold calculation did. They had scripted my role as the fool. I'd rewrite the ending. The clock struck 2. House quiet, staff departed with leftovers and bonuses. I locked up, set the alarm. The vineyard outside lay still under moonlight, rose, orderly waiting. Tomorrow brought allies and action. Tonight, I owned the silence. Morning light filtered in when Evelyn and Zelda arrived. Evelyn carried a thermos of coffee, eyes red from the drive. "I left at 3, she said, hugging me tight. Couldn't wait. Zelda, the attorney Evelyn had known since law school, set a leather briefcase on the island. Sharp suit, sharper gaze. "Show me what you have." I handed over the printed emails, photos of the shattered wine station and sheriff's report. Zelda spread them across the counter like puzzle pieces. Assault with the drink, trespassing on record, property damage, those bottles weren't cheap. "We're looking at a solid civil claim." Evelyn poured coffee for 3. "Start with the demand letter." "Exactly." Zelda pulled out a legal pad. "Certified mail return receipt. Itemize every expense, party costs, cleanup, replacement crystal. Add emotional distress for the public humiliation. Conservative estimate, 28,000. I leaned against the counter, arms folded. "They'll fight it. Let them." Zelda's pen flew. "The emails are gold. Intent to defraud, conspiracy to exclude. California courts love paper trails." Evelyn nodded. "And the HOA angle?" Zelda smiled thinly. "Donna's president of the Napa Valley Estates Association. Bylaws require disclosure of legal disputes involving members. I draft a courtesy letter to the board, anonymous tip, full documentation attached. Conflict of interest forces her resignation or investigation." I pictured Donna's face at the next meeting, scrambling to explain. The image brought no joy, just satisfaction. Zelda continued. Timeline letter goes out tomorrow. Give them 10 days to respond. No payment we file in small claims or superior court, your choice. Small claims, I said? Faster. Public. Evelyn raised an eyebrow. You sure superior allows bigger awards? Speed matters. I want this closed. Zelda made a note. Done. We'll include a no-contact clause. Any violation triggers restraining order. We mapped logistics. I provided vendor receipt security footage, timestamps, staff statements. Evelyn handled logistics, printing, mailing, tracking. Zelda crafted language formal, unemotional, devastating. By noon, the letter was drafted. Zelda read aloud, demand for compensation and cessation of contact to Jerry Donna Mason. Last name, re-events of December 31st at estate address. You are hereby notified. Assault. Trespassing. Intentional infliction. Total demand, $28,000. Payment within 10 days avoids litigation. Further contact prohibited. She slid it across. Sign here. My signature looked stronger than it ever had. Evelyn sealed the envelope. Certified signature required. They can't claim ignorance. Zelda packed her briefcase. HOA letter goes separately, board members only. Donna finds out when the gavel drops. I walked them to the door. Sun glinted off the vineyard, frost melted. Thank you. Evelyn squeezed my hand. Family isn't blood. It's choice. Zelda paused. One more thing. If they counter with apologies, don't engage. Forward to me. I nodded. The door closed, engines faded. Alone again, I reviewed the plan. Every step locked in place. No loopholes, no mercy. They had scripted exclusion. I authored consequences. The chef had left breakfast fresh scones, fruit. I ate at the island, the same spot where emails had damned them. Crumbs fell on the demand letter copy. I brushed them away. Phone buzzed, unknown number. I let it ring out. Voicemail. Donna's voice shaky. Valerie, we need to talk. This has gone too far. Delete. Another text from Mason. You're ruining everything. Block. Jerry emailed, let's meet as a family. Archive. Each attempt reinforced the wall. Zelda had warned document harassment. I did. Afternoon brought the courier. Envelopes dispatched, demand to home address, HOA to board secretary. Tracking numbers saved. I toured the estate. Cleanup crew had worked miracles, floors gleamed, new crystal ordered. The space breathed again. Evening, I opened design software, new project condo listings in San Francisco. The hilltop held memories now toxic. Time to sell, sever roots. Zelda called at dusk. Letters en route. Brace for backlash. I am. She chuckled. Good. Justice isn't gentle. Night fell. I stood on the balcony, city lights distant. For the first time, the future felt mine to shape, not theirs to sabotage. 3 weeks later, I faced my parents across Zelda's desk. The office overlooked San Francisco Bay, neutral ground. Jerry shifted in his chair, Donna clutched a tissue. No Mason, no Peyton. Zelda had insisted only signatories. Zelda slid the check forward. 28,000 certified funds. Jerry pushed it over without meeting my eyes. Donna's hand trembled as she signed the settlement agreement. This ends it, Zelda stated. Full release upon receipt. Next, the no-contact order. 5 pages, ironclad. Violation means court, Zelda warned. Jerry initialed each section. Donna hesitated at the last page, then scrawled her name. They stood to leave. Jerry paused. We're sorry, Valerie. I didn't respond. The door clicked shut behind them. Consequences unfolded swiftly. Donna's HOA presidency collapsed 2 days later. Board members received the anonymous packet sheriff report emails demand letter. Emergency vote removal for conduct unbecoming. Her nameplate vanished from the community center by week's end. Jerry's employer launched an internal audit. Party expenses traced to his corporate card, unauthorized entertainment. Demotion followed, then mandatory repayment plan. Whispers in the office hallway replaced golf invitations. Mason lost his barista job when parents cut the allowance. Rent overdue, he moved back to their downsized condo. Peyton ended the engagement quietly. No vineyard wedding, no trust fund, future. I listed the Napa estate the following Monday. Offers poured in. The scandal added intrigue for buyers seeking character properties. Closing took 30 days. Profit cleared 7 figures after fees. With proceeds, I purchased a 2-bedroom condo in Soma, floor-to-ceiling windows, rooftop deck, walking distance to design studios. Movers handled the transition. I kept only essentials: favorite chair, sketchbooks, the private reserve wine. Unpacking in the new space felt like exhaling. No echoes of arguments, no ghosts in hallways. I hosted Evelyn's first takeout dim sum on the balcony, city lights below. Clients returned stronger. Word of my resilience spread in industry circles. A tech firm commissioned a flagship office. A hotel chain sought expansion concepts. Valerie designs thrived without family baggage. I blocked old numbers, deleted group chats. Birthdays passed unmarked. Holidays became chosen friends, mentors. Evelyn's annual Tahoe trip. One evening, sunset painting the skyline orange, I raised a glass alone. Not to victory, but to freedom. True family is where respect is given, not proven.